It's not. Hey, dreamers. Okay, so I'm not feeling so good, but we went a lot of places last night. So I went, let's see where we went. Remember I tell you guys, you don't have a start, you just get into the dream. All right, so we got into the dream and we went to, where did I go first? Oh my God, it was this huge park. Now, if anybody watches this from Belize, you know where I'm talking about. Elejo Beni Park. It looks like it was that, and I know it wasn't. But the water, oh my God, I can't understand. The water looks like crystal. The only place I remember seeing crystal clear water, home. Anywho, so I walked in. It wasn't ticketed, but I walked in just to go ahead and get myself situated, and everybody was sitting around this park like they were about to do some kind of parade, but I think it was with a bunch of floats. Now, the grass was green, more like an evergreen, but like a neon. So it was real grass. It wasn't the shit that we buy or we see out here. But so we were sitting around the edges waiting for this I guess a parade or a float or something to happen. This parade of floats. We were waiting for that to happen. And this voice is like, oh, the grass is too dry. We got to water the grass. Now I'm looking at this. He just said water. And water just came down from the sky. Shh. The water was freaking clear, like crystal clear, like unbelievable. But then again, I have lucid dreams, so everything looks better than 3D or high definition. Yes, better than that. Okay, so that's how it looked. But what I was noticing, he just said water and the water came down. I couldn't see the clouds, I just saw the water coming down. But the water came like when the rain comes with a storm, and it had wind with it. But I was like, how does he command all this stuff? So I was like, wait, how do you command it to rain and the wind? He said, no, I got control over the water. The wind is a whole different thing. And I said, then how do you make the wind happen? He said, look at your feet. And I looked down, and there's these holes with some rusted gold stuff. The gold was rusted. It wasn't iron. It was like gold. I had a rich dream. It was like gold, but it was like at the edge of the park with some holes. And it kind of like elevates to shift the atmosphere to create the wind. Hey, I'm just talking. It's my dream. And then he said, no, that's all that. I was like, okay. And as soon as I saw that, the first float came out. Oh, that thing was beautiful. It was like a chocolate brown. I mean, the brown looks like real chocolate, like something to eat, with gold. And this woman on top with like a gold hat. I was like, oh my God, I hope this shit is real. And then I started thinking, and that's when I realized it wasn't real. It was a dream. I was out of that one. And then I ended up at a hospital. Just strange because I'm just leaving a hospital now. But I ended up at a hospital. And there was this baby crying in this lady's hand. And she's like, she's frustrated. You could see that she's frustrated with the baby. So I'm like, well, why the hell is she frustrated? It's just a little baby. She gave the baby a bottle, and she's like, here's your food. And the baby's trying to rustle to get the bottle to her food, to her mouth. And I was like, oh, why are you doing that? I said, how old is the baby? I said, she's not happy. She's like, oh, she's a week old. And I was like, this heifer can't be giving this 1 week old baby her own bottle to feed herself. So she put the baby on the side, and she gave the baby the bottle. Poor little thing, hold the bottle in her arms like this, like trying to feed herself. But she started to feed herself. Little thing, I guess when you're hungry, you're gonna figure out a way to eat. Well, she'd start feeding herself. She was trying to get the bottle in there. So I held it up to her, and she looked at me with these glaring bright brown eyes, and she smiled, and then she walked away. And the baby stayed there, and the mom walked away. I said, no, this heifer remind me of something. My mom that would just leave your ass right there to figure it out. Ah! Then let's go, because I'm still moving. Oh, last night was super busy. Then I ended up trying to get my cousin to the airport. Now she has to come here every time to shop because she loves Black Friday. That's the thing. So like I was trying to get her to the airport, but she's getting frustrated because she can't get all the sneakers inside this doggone suitcase. Now I was like, leave it. She said, no, I gotta take this one. She's a sneaker freak. But what surprised me about that part, because she's not someone that panics, she's usually calm. She's usually like, whatever. but she wanted to take these white pair of sneakers in there. Well, she got the sneakers in there, and I was out into another dream. Ended up in a line now. Where'd I go? I didn't even know where I was, but I was standing in line, and I don't know what I was standing in line for. First, it was like I could count at least about 6 people ahead of me, and then they came to the guy in front of me, a tall. He looks Indian. It was a tall Indian guy. He wasn't that good looking, and usually Indians are good looking, but So he turned around. It was his turn just before me, and he got a piece of paper, and he said, well, I'm using her, and he pointed at me, and he said, she's gonna be my backup. So I'm like, the hell? And then he realized that his wife is not actually, his wife is against him. I don't know if we were gonna debate. I don't know what the hell we were gonna do, but it looks like either court or a debate. And his wife was on the other side, so we were like for, and she was against. And I was like, oh hells no, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. But no, husband and wife. I was like, I'm out, and I was gone. Now, I ended up in a totally different dream again. Told you guys last night was super ass busy. So I ended up in a totally different dream. How'd I get in a different dream? Don't know. But it was like I needed to walk. I need to get somewhere, but I couldn't move. Maybe that's the pain I woke up with in my feet today. But I couldn't move. So what I did, I was sitting on a chair. It's like an old wooden chair. Most of the chairs aren't wooden now. They're like packed wood. But this one was wooden chair. And I sat on this chair, but like the chair knew that I wanted to move, it start moving, which was beyond me. I don't know how it works, but I could start moving. And when it started moving, I was like, this thing is moving with me. And it moved out, and I saw 2 guys that I know from back home, and they were like, it's like, they're yelling my name. They're yelling my name like, hey, where you going? Where you going? And I'm like, I'm trying to get home. And they were like, I said, how was the trip back home? And he was like, oh, it was awesome. I really wanted to stay, but I gotta come. So I can't stay home, but I had to come. He's like, I really wanted to stay, but it was like a hesitation to say, I just had to come back here. So he was like, when you going? I said, no time soon, can't do that anytime soon. I said, but I can't get this shit to move. And he said, put your hands on the seat, there's a button there. And I pressed the button, and the darn chair start moving. The chair start moving like it's a car. But I was super ass comfortable, and it was super easy to move with this chair car. It was not a freaking wheelchair, and it wasn't a scooter for y'all who think it's a scooter. It was a chair, and it was moving me. And I was up because it was time for me to go to work. Dream on, dreamers. See y'all tomorrow.